I did see latest news about YouTube's monetization thing. And yeah, apparently they're making things twice as challenging to get monetization. So yeah, I just saw this up. I saw this pop up, so hopefully they'll give me more details on this.
All right, so there's been a major update to YouTube's monetization policy. It's like 12:30 a.m. where I am, so this is going to be a little bit messy. But I just want to get you the information that you need for this. In addition to what I'm getting ready to share with you, I'm also going to put official YouTube links in the video description so you can explore this further, because there's a lot of information about this. So the cliff notes are, starting February 1st, 2027, they are making major changes to their monetization policy. We're going to be breaking this video into a few different parts here. So the first is long form content, second is shorts, and then there's some additional details along with this as well that impact both. So first, if you're already in the partner program for long form content, you don't have anything to worry about right now. If you end up losing that, the qualification, right? If you end up not hitting that 4,000 watch hours within the year, then in that case, you know, you're going to have to do extra work in order to get back in there. But if you're already in the partner program, you're consistently publishing, you're doing the thing, you don't really have anything to worry about. However, if you're somebody that's trying to get into the partner program, let's say you're a small channel, let's say you started your channel within the last year or two, you're trying to figure all this stuff out and you are plugging away trying to get monetized on YouTube. As of this video, the current requirements are 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time on long form content in order to get into the partner program. Starting February 1st.
Yeah, the YouTube Partner Program entry thresholds for new creators are changing to 8,000 qualified hours in the last 365 days, or 20 million qualified short views in the last 90 days. I really have to like lock in to make, you know, to reach there. Yeah, because right now I'm literally just like dipping my feet in the water.
2027, that
so I got
is
a
going
ways
to change to 8,000 hours of watch time. So they're doubling the requirement on the watch time side in order for people to be able to qualify for the partner program. How that's going to work for those of you that are, you know, trying to get into the partner program is if you do not hit it by February 1st on the current 4,000 hour requirements, if you get 3,900 hours of watch time, the post is going to move on February 1st. So you got to be really locked in here over the next few months, trying to make sure that you get in before this threshold.
Yeah, that's actually my plan. Once I, you know, get like, once I figure out how to get the multi-stream plugins sorted out, I want to start like making more like content. Like I'm obviously I'm gonna do more than just reactions. I would like to do other stuff, but I am trying to work towards that. Because yeah, right now I'm trying to like, you know, get something started before I'm able to do other things. But yeah, my plan is to lock in for the rest of the year,
so that you don't have to do that extra work when it comes to qualifying for the partner program. Now, when it comes to YouTube Shorts, if you are in the YouTube Partner Program for Shorts currently, you have to get 10 million views. If it's a Shorts only creator, then you have to get 10 million views just to qualify.
right?
Now, to qualify, you have to get 20 million views in that 90-day period in order to qualify. And then you have to get 10 million views every 90 days or more, every 90 days in order to continue getting money from YouTube Shorts ads. So to be clear, if you make long form content and you make short form content, then in that case, if you used YouTube Shorts to get, you know, into the partner program, then in that case, you will still make money on your long form content. You are not losing that. You won't be kicked out of the program. You can still do shopping. You can still do fan funding, all of that. You will just lose your ability to make money on Shorts ads only for the months, or the periods, I should say, where you do not reach those requirements.
Mm.
So if you do it in one 3-month cycle and not in the next, then in that case, you just won't get the shorts ad money in that next cycle. But then if you do it again in the following, then you will get the money there. So this is going to keep people, really, really on the grind. So as a part of this, YouTube is putting together additional incentives for people that don't hit the requirements. For this, they're still working on all of that. They are going to be doing some extra things with shopping and some extra things with brand deals in order to fill in the gaps with some of this stuff. But as of right now, those are the only things that that are out there in terms of some things that they might do. So we'll keep our eyes open for additional information there. Now, part of the thought behind YouTube making this change is that when somebody gets monetized on YouTube, and I actually have really mixed feelings about this. So when somebody gets monetized on YouTube, they often, right, some people, they get lots of views, and because they get lots of views, then they hit the payout requirements every month and all of that, and they make, money from ads. However, there's also a staggering amount of content creators that get into the partner program, but they don't hit that $100 threshold, and because of that, they don't get, paid every month anyway. Now, that's one perspective on this. However, the other perspective is, I believe that if the qualifications are 4,000 hours of watch time in order to get in, that means that people will hit it faster. And if people hit it faster, that means that even if you get paid out every 2 months or every 3 months, it's still better than not getting paid out any months, right? When it comes to getting money. Because I know some people, if they get an extra, $200 or $150 every few months, it'll help them pay for important things. So because of that, I think that side of it is unfortunate. And I understand that when it comes to...
Yeah, it feels like YouTube is pulling like a Twitch. Like it's trying to make more room for the larger creators. And those who are smaller, they honestly want them off the platform. But yeah, that's why they're going to increase the requirements for the partner program to really just make more room for the bigger creators.
Posting and things like that on YouTube side, they got to pay for, that stuff. And I understand the rebuttal also is going to be that, yeah, but they also made like $60 billion last year, right? I know that people are going to be saying that too. But when it comes, to it, I do think that side of things is, sucks when it comes to this. But, this, I mean, there isn't really a but. There isn't really a but to that. It's
all business.
Another part of this, and this is from the Help Center article, they say, to better recognize creators' consistent effort and reflect the realities of different formats, anyone who's considered inactive will now have an extended 90-day window to meet a lower 1,000 qualified watch hours in the last 365 days or 1 million shorts views in the last 90 days to stay in the program. So that's actually a correction on what I mentioned earlier. So with this, they're going to give like a flexible period of time where if you do, fall under it, but you're still, you're still on the grind, you're still trying to do your thing, then in that case, the requirements they stay in are a little bit lower for that period of time. But you got to make sure you hit them, because if you don't, then you'll end up dropping out. So it's kind of a grace period to say, hey, you're not publishing as much, you're not getting the activity.
Yeah.
So therefore, you have X amount of time to get it together. Or if you don't get it together, then you're not going to be in the partner program. So because of that, this is where making sure that you are figuring out how to stay consistent and you're working the process of creating content into your lifestyle is going to become more important than it ever has been on YouTube. And I think a part of this also is, YouTube is getting more competitive. Like, creators are getting better and better. There's more and more creators, and because of that, since everybody's just getting better at YouTube, I think just the bars are just raising in general. And I think because of that, and because YouTube is scaling in the way that it is, I think that, a lot of these changes are also based on some of that. Because if it's harder for people to get into the partner program, then that means there's going to be more money circulating for the people that are in the partner program. And, people will, still hit that 8,000 hours. It's not like it's not like you're not able to get into the partner program now. But this is just one of those things where, because they are moving that bar, it's going to make some changes on both ends. It's also important to know that if you are already in the partner program, in order to stay in the partner program, you also have to make sure that you do accept the updated terms in YouTube Studio
Well, yeah,
by
obviously.
January 31st of 2027. Of course, you know, if you interact with my content, hang out my live streams and stuff, we'll be keeping you up to date on that to make sure you do it. But yeah, you have to make sure that you do that by January 31st, 2027. And with those, like as soon as you see them, just go ahead and, you know, read them and then make sure that you agree to them. And then from there, you know, go ahead and accept them. As another part of this, and this is directly from the help article, it says that they are expanding Premium Lite. So they're expanding Premium Lite into
I'm
all
not too
countries where
familiar with
Premium is
Premium
available.
Light.
On average, creators earn more per user from Premium than from ads. And this is based on 2026 performance. They say for Premium Lite, creators are going to share in a pool representing 60% of net subscription revenue. For Premium views, creators will share in a pool representing 30% of net subscription revenue. In YouTube Analytics, Premium Lite earnings are included in your standard YouTube Premium metrics. One other thing that they mentioned here is that they are also doing a earning boost, and this is in the Shorts incentive program, because before I mentioned that they were doing YouTube shopping and brand deal related things like production credits for brand deals. They are also doing something where you can get an earning boost for cultural trend activations. In a nutshell, that means if you start a trend, then they might give you some bonuses around that. And they say that eligible creators will get direct notifications on how to opt into these programs when these programs launch. So again, I know this is frustrating if you are somebody that's trying to get in the partner program, and I know that this might be discouraging, but this is also one of those moments to where, you know, for years, you know, myself and other people who make content like me and really just other successful content creators, one of the things that we always talk about is how important it is to make sure that you are figuring out how to monetize off platform. And I know that being in the YouTube partner program is important because it's extra money. Plus, you know, just being in the partner program, you know, you get, you know, the extra stuff, right? Shopping and, you know, all that. So because of that, there are perks involved with it
There's
as
so
well, which
much
is
to
why people try so
absorb.
hard to get into it. And I know that this is extremely discouraging, getting this news. If you are a, you know, smaller channel and you're trying to figure this
Yeah,
out
it
and
is.
you're heading in that direction, but you, like, if you're somebody that knows that you're probably not going to hit that mark yet by the time February 1st comes around, I know that this is going to be really frustrating for you. But you know, there's a few things to know about with this. So historically, if you look at YouTube, so back in the day, you used to have to get invited into the YouTube Partner
Oh
Program.
yeah, I
Like
remember
you couldn't
that.
even, you know, you couldn't like just apply anything like that. Like they had to literally reach out to people and invite them. Back when I started my channel, things had changed by that point to where when you started a channel, you could apply and you could literally be monetized in your first video. And then as time progressed, then they, you know, started making more changes. Then they added, you know, the watch time requirements, things like that. And that was a big deal, you know, when all of that happened as well. And I really don't think that this is as big of a deal as that when they first made that change, because that went from anybody can make money to like now we have these requirements.
Yeah.
And that was a really big deal when that one happened. And I'm not saying that to minimize.
Yeah, YouTube is no longer like what it used to be. You know, you could just, anybody could be a content creator. They could just post videos and they would showcase just normal, average, you know, Joes posting videos and just showcasing, you know, regular people. And now YouTube is just, it broadcasts companies and news channels and basically anyone who isn't an average Joe, pretty much. Yeah, like if you're not somebody, then YouTube's not gonna promote you. Or if you're someone um who creates stuff or says things that YouTube doesn't like, then they're definitely not gonna promote you. Pretty much.
This in any way because, you know, moving that bar, you know, is going to be frustrating for some people. However, you know, as all of these platforms evolve, it's really important to make sure that you are just considering that these types of things will continue to happen
Yeah,
over
they
time.
will.
And these platforms can change all of these things at any time. And because of that, it's important that while you are also trying to make money on platform, that you're also thinking about, okay, what can I do to make money off of platform as well? Even if it's something
Yeah.
like brand deals, because that's like on platform, but you're actually getting the money from something else, right? But just trying to figure out other ways that you can make money from the content that you're
Yeah.
making, so that when these types of things happen, even though they might be impactful, that when these types of things happen, that that it's not as big of a deal when they do happen. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to put links down in the description to the different articles so that you can jump into those to get any additional information that you need. And as well as that, I'm going to put some other videos down there too. But anyway, I just wanted to hop in here and let you know what was going on so that you could hear it from me. And hang in there. I know that for some of you that this can be frustrating, but hang in there. You got this. They just moved the mark, but that just means that if you can figure out how to get the 4,000 hours of watch time, then you can figure out how to get the 8,000. Right? It's just going to be just a little bit more time. So hang in there. You got this. And yeah, I'll see you next time.
Yeah, very good video. I appreciate it. Nimmin. All right, I'm gonna put his video in the description box and definitely give him a like. And yeah, I appreciate the the details on YouTube's update. And yeah, again, thank you for the video.